Very good morning to all. I welcome you all in the second semester of MCOM Bank Management. First of all, I would like to welcome you the semester second. As per the government rule, your examination conducted so late, so you entered into the semester second in the month of July only. But no issue at all. We will complete the syllabus and the last semester will be taken before Diwali. Today we are going to start with our subject, that is managerial economics. It is a compulsory subject, as you know. If you're looking for the general BCom or the MCom IT as well, the managerial economics is the common subject everywhere, even for the MBA also. In earlier content of the managerial economics, we studied about the various things like production function, demand analysis, elasticity, forecasting. Okay, now we are looking for some advanced theories in the managerial economics. Here also you have to study the 4 chapters, including 4 content respectively. In this semester syllabus, we focused on the cost and revenue analysis. Apart from that, some concept of the business cycle, means some theories of the macro also include into the managerial economics, because you know, if you're working as a manager or the HR in any particular business firm, there are number of responsibility on your shoulders, that regarding finance, regarding marketing, regarding production, regarding cost, regarding price decisions, regarding price discrimination as well. So that the number of things which you require to implement practically include in this syllabus. Okay, let me start with our first subject, that is related to the product pricing. First of all, I would like to explain what is the meaning of product pricing. एखाद्या वस्तूची किंमत म्हणजे त्याचा प्राइसिंग, राइट? It is already you studied in the BCom first year's business economics. Okay, the first content is all about the cost and revenue analysis. Cost, as you know, the cost means the production expenditure. If you want to produce any biscuit, any pack of biscuit or the mobile phone, whatever the raw material you require, whatever the expenses you have to done on this cost, is called as the cost and cost of that particular product. The second concept is all about the revenue. What is the revenue? Revenue is nothing but, guys, whatever the income earned by the producer by selling his commodity. एखादी वस्तू विकून जो पैसा त्या प्रोड्युसरला, सेलरला मिळतोय, त्याला आपण रेव्हेन्यू असं म्हणतो. सो वी आर फोकसिंग ऑन द कॉस्ट अँड रेव्हेन्यू. द कन्सेप्ट ऑफ कॉस्ट, देर इज ऑल्सो, इट इज bifurcation of the cost is given, like total cost, average cost, marginal cost. Total revenue, average revenue, marginal revenue. Somehow the formulas of all these two concepts are same. As you know, I guaranteed you will remember it when I will actually start the concept. Okay, then we have to focus on the curves. Okay, curves, what is the average cost curve, what is the total cost curve. Okay, with the help of that curve you can easily understand when the cost is high and when the cost is low, and which is the preferable level of the production. So first concept is all about the cost and revenue. Here some classical and modern approach also involved into it. The second concept is all about the price discrimination. I think you heard that word in the 12th standard as well as the FYBCom. Price discrimination means what? When the seller charge different price from the different consumer even for the same product. एकच वस्तू वेगवेगळ्या ग्राहकांना वेगवेगळ्या किमतीला विकली जाते. बऱ्याच वेळेस आपल्याला असं वाटतं बघा की एका तुमच्या फ्रेंडने एक स्वेटर 1000 रुपीजला आणलाय, तो स्वेटर तुम्हाला 500लाच बसलाय आणि तुमच्या अनदर फ्रेंडला तो 2000ला बसलाय. असं होतं. दॅट इज द सेम कमोडिटी समटाइम्स. इट इज नथिंग बट द प्राइस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, अँड इट इज द इम्पॉर्टंट कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ monopoly market, right? So that the price discrimination, the concept, it involved into the first chapter. That is what is the condition of price discrimination. Degree of discrimination are there, first degree, second degree, third degree, and it is determined with the help of, guys, the elasticity of demand, right? Elasticity काय आहे तुमची, ते त्याच्यावरून हे सगळ्या डिग्रीज ठरतात. त्याच्यानंतर त्याचे टाइप्स अँड इफेक्ट. Next is the pricing under monopolistic competition. Guys, I want to focus that monopoly and monopolistic market are the two different concepts. So listen it carefully. Acquire the knowledge. What is the differentiation between the monopoly and monopolistic? These are the two different markets. So here we have to focus on how the prices in the monopolistic market are to be determined. Monopolistic market is the type of imperfect market, right? Is it you already studied in the 12th standard, so you know which are the types of imperfect market. Monopolistic market is the market condition where large number of buyer and sellers are present who are selling sometimes they are selling homogeneous products, sometimes they are selling differentiate product. Okay, differentiate product is the main characteristic of the monopolistic. आता तुम्ही म्हणाल मॅडम डिफरन्शिएट प्रोडक्ट म्हणजे काय, तर डिफरन्शिएट मीन्स those product having the same use but they have a different resemblance in the sense की ते दिसायला वेगवेगळे असतात परंतु त्यांचे यूज मात्र एकसारखं असतं. फॉर एक्झाम्पल पेन, नोटबुक, शॅम्पू, परफ्यूम प्रत्येक कंपनीचा वेगवेगळा आहे बट द यूज इज सेम. सो दॅट इन दिस मार्केट rigorous advertisement is to be done. So the selling cost is the important characteristic of this market. Selling cost in the sense in this market there are number of competitor for my product. If I sell, let me consider if I am selling a notebook or a mobile phone, right? Let me take the example of mobile. I am selling a mobile phone. There are number of options, there are number of competitors are arise, like Vivo is there, Samsung is there, iPhone is there. Then I have to prove how I am different from the other, and so that I have to do the rigorous advertisement, rigorous publication, rigorous endorsement. Number of marketing strategies that I have to adopt is nothing but the selling cost. That several characteristics we have to study under the title of monopolistic competition. The second one is all of the oligopoly market. Oligopoly market is the market condition where few sellers are present and they take the decision regarding price and sales with the collective opinion. Oligopoly market, like OPEC is the best example of the oligopoly market. Means they are came together, the countries and who are selling the petrols, who are exporting the petrols are came together, they form an organization and they are selling the crude oil to the world. That is nothing but the example of oligopoly that will be focused in the first chapter. So here you can understood what are the four content you have to study under the title of product pricing and revenue. In this semester the idea of mine is that we will take some lectures online, means YouTube lectures will be sent, and some sessions will be take online on the Zoom or the Google Meet. It will enhance your knowledge regarding diagrams, because number of diagrams you have to study under this syllabus. So I will take the Zoom sessions, Google sessions even, but first of all you have to understand the concept. If you understood the concept clearly, you can easily get the knowledge in the practical session as well. So this is all about the chapter first, that is product pricing and revenue. The second one is about the product pricing strategies. Some strategies are there, means the objectives of this strategy you have to study. The full cost pricing is there, how to determine is the markup price is there, peak load pricing is there, means there are several strategies. Because if you fail to determine the appropriate price of the any product, it will definitely affect on your profit margin. So that this strategy is very useful for the manager to take the decision regarding price. Second one is the transfer pricing, multiple product pricing. Nowadays you can see that the company is not stop for the only one production, they are entered into the, means diversification of product is there. Can you imagine guys, the Nestle started their business with the pharmaceutics, but now they got a huge response in the FMCG. Means company is not stop on the sole production only, they are entering into various production, and now the challenge is there how to determine the price of these several products. So there is a multiple product pricing. And the administered price is there. Administered price, as you know, administered price means in the economy sometimes the producer does not have the right to decide the price of its product, and that pricing determined by the government. Means for example, if I have a petrol pump, there is no right to me that I can decide the price of a petrol. जसं आता मी समजा टाटा आहे, मी एखादी कुठली तरी इंजिन तयार केलेलं आहे, ते किती रुपयाला विकायचा याचा अधिकार मला आहे. परंतु काही सेव्हरल इंडस्ट्रीजमध्ये असं असतं की त्याचा अधिकार मला नाही. फॉर एक्झाम्पल फार्मर्सचंही घ्या, माझ्या रानात आता भात निघालेला आहे, तांदळाचं पीक निघालेलं आहे, तो कितीने विकायचा आहे म्हणजे मी नाही सांगू शकत आहे, गव्हर्नमेंट विल डिसाईड. माझ्या रानात ऊस जाणार आहे आता 20 टन, तर तो कसा जाईल हे सगळं गव्हर्नमेंट ठरवून देतं. मग जेव्हा प्राईस डिटरमाइंड बाय द गव्हर्नमेंट, देन इट कॉल्ड ॲज ॲडमिनिस्ट्रेड price. Okay, that will be focused in the second chapter. The Fourth one is pricing strategy for launching a new product. Yes, this is the biggest challenge because you have to see the competition, you have to see the substitute, you have to see the cost analysis, and then only you have to decide the price of any product when you are entered the newly entered in the market. जेव्हा आपण एखादा नवीन product launch करतो, what will be the price is biggest challenge in front of any company. So the second chapter is there is all about the product pricing strategy. That will also, it is a theoretical part actually, some calculations are there which will be conduct on the online sessions only. Okay, the third, now we are turning towards the business cycle. It is the macroeconomic, guys, and it is actually my favorite topic in this syllabus, that is business cycle. Business cycle in the sense you can see it as a trade cycle also, means the fluctuations are there. No business running in the constant position, some fluctuations, some peak stage, some depression stage are there, and these fluctuations are denoted in a one diagram, that is a cyclic condition, so it is known as the business cycle. No condition is permanent in the business. You know, बिझनेस मध्ये सगळ्याच गोष्टी परमनंट असतात असं नाही. कधी कधी मी एक्सपेक्टेड प्रॉफिटपेक्षाही मला जास्त पैसे मिळतात, कधी कधी आय हॅव टू फेस द लॉसेस. एंटरप्रेनर इज सोल रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर इट. सो दॅट business cycle means the fluctuations arises in the businesses. There are 4 stages of that business cycle we will study under the first content, that is 3.1 is meaning of a business cycle, classification and phases of it. So there are actually 4 phases: peak, recession, depression and recovery. The diagram is there. I think you have the tentative idea about it in a BCom second year as well. Next is the Schumpeter. The economist, is well known for the innovation. So he suggested some strategies, or you can say the reasons for the fluctuation is nothing but the innovation. That theory is to be studied under the 3.2, that is Schumpeter's theory, cobweb theory of the business cycle. The 3.3 is the Hicks and Samuelson theory of the business cycle. According to this different economics ना guys, प्रत्येकाने एक स्ट्रॅटेजी सांगितलेली आहे की बिझनेस सायकलमध्ये फ्लक्च्युएशन्स काय येतात. तर त्या वेरियस थेरीज ज्या काही आहेत त्या आपल्याला इथं अंडर धिस टायटल बघायच्या आहेत. नेक्स्ट आहे मेजर ऑफ कंट्रोलिंग बिझनेस सायकल. नंबर ऑफ इंटरनल अँड एक्सटर्नल फॅक्टर्स अफेक्ट ऑन बिझनेस सायकल. यू कांट से दॅट इट इज अफेक्टेड बाय द मायक्रो व्हेरिएबल्स ओनली. सम मॅक्रो व्हेरिएबल्स ऑल्सो अफेक्ट ऑन इट. आपण बघू शकतो की 2000 म्हणजे आता हा काही कोविडचा इफेक्ट यायच्या आधीपर्यंत, म्हणजे मी तुम्हाला सांगू शकते की 19 मार्च 2020 पर्यंतचा आपला GDP यू कॅन चेक इज अबाव 9.7, आणि नंतर कोविडचा इफेक्ट सुरू झाला आणि इट इज स्टार्ट डिक्लाइन. म्हणजे नंबर ऑफ फॅक्टर्स आर देअर. कधी डिसीज येतो, कधी गव्हर्नमेंट पॉलिसी चेंज होते, कधी इंटरनॅशनल इफेक्ट होत असतात, इंटरनॅशनल रिलेशनचा पण इफेक्ट तुमच्यावर होत असतो. म्हणजे देर आर नंबर ऑफ थिंग्स बिहाइंड दिस फ्लक्च्युएशन्स दॅट विल बी स्टडी अंडर द बिझनेस सायकल. इट इज व्हेरी इंटरेस्टिंग चॅप्टर अँड इट विल हेल्प यू ॲज अ मॅनेजर टू टेक द डिसिजन्स, बिकॉज यू हॅव टू गोईंग थ्रू दॅट 4 phases. Sometimes you are enjoying the peak stage, you getting a ultimate profit, right? Later on sometimes is decline. Number of factors are there why your profit level is decline. Competition arises, government policy change, so we are facing such a types of pandemics. Okay, means as a manager you have to take the decision in peak stage as well as in a recession as well. So that the concept of business cycle is important to study, to take the various decision in various phases. Okay, because your decision definitely turn the level or your performance level of your company. So recession मध्ये सुद्धा डिसिजन घेता आला पाहिजे. पिकला सुद्धा आपण भाडून नाही चालणार आहे की बाबा मला खूप प्रॉफिट मिळतोय आता मी काही कितीही रुपयाला विकेन, असं चालत नाही. सस्टेनन्स इज द व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट मॅटर. सो बिझनेस सायकल इज ऑल अबाउट द थर्ड चॅप्टर, राईट? अँड द लास्ट इज ऑल अबाउट द इंडस्ट्रियल इकॉनॉमिक्स. I am very glad to tell you that it is also the specialized subject for me for the PhD. Industrial economics, very interesting. You will get the interest in this chapter because number of theories which we always heard about it, किंवा आपण हे लेबर्सला फेस करताना बघत असतो, इंडस्ट्रीला फेस करताना जे प्रॉब्लेम्स आपण फेस बघत असतो, हे सगळे यामध्ये इन्वॉल्ड आहेत. मग व्हॉट इज द इंडस्ट्रियल इकॉनॉमिक्स? यू हॅव टू स्टडी द मीनिंग अँड स्कोप ऑफ इट, द टाइप्स अँड क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ द इंडस्ट्रीज. As you know, the industries are divided into 3 categories. First one is the small, medium and large, and it is not according to size, guys. You know, it is depend upon the investments of the capital. Small industries, medium industries and large scale industries. So the problems are different with the different scale. It is not same for all की small कमी आहेत, large ला problem जास्त आहेत, not at all. It is different with the different size, and number of problem are also different with the different sectors as well. Next, the industrial location. So for that you have to study the Weber's theory. Industrial location, basically as per the FEMA or the new industrial policy 1991, you heard some rule regarding it because you study the Indian economy in the BCom third year, right? But here some Weber's theory, in the Weber's theory, the location, how the location of the industry affects on their profit level and their all performance is to be explained in the 4.2 content. Next, we have to focus the recent issues and problem, guys, because for that Company Act was formed. Later on in the 2013 it was amended. Some new rules are entered into the under the corporate. So registration policy, board of director, organizations policy are totally changed, and how it is affects on the enterprises. What are the recent issues? Because you say that government immediately provided the license, so the industrialization increases, and so that established company are facing the number of competition. Sometimes it affect on their production level. Some business rivalry increases, and it gives the rise to the unethical, or you can say the antisocial practices. You can say the better word is the antisocial practices is to be adopted by the firms to sustain in the market. की मला टिकून राहायचं आहे, कॉम्पिटिशन वाढलेलं आहे आणि मग मी तिथं कुठल्याही तळापर्यंत जाऊ शकतो, असं आता बऱ्याच वेळेस आपल्याला बघायला मिळते. कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टरमध्ये तुम्हाला ह्या पद्धतीचे कॉम्पिटिशन्स, वेगवेगळे प्रॉब्लेम्स काय जे काय आहेत ते आपल्याला इथं बघायचे आहेत. रिसेंट इश्यू, आपण जे पूर्वीचे इश्यू बघत होते ते लेबर प्रॉब्लेम असू दे, लाईट एनर्जी इश्यू असू दे, सप्लाय चेन इश्यू असू दे, हे दीज आर द पास्ट प्रॉब्लेम्स. बट nowadays industrializations developed, international, you can say, from the 1991 liberalization is to be done, and with the help of liberalization and globalization you become a global competitors. Then the problem in front of everybody is the sustenance म्हणजे टिकून राहणे आहे. त्या तिथं मी टिकून राहणे is now the biggest challenge, and due to this pandemic also every industry facing such a types of problem, that is a sustenance. They are not पूर्वी कसं व्हायचं की इंडस्ट्रीज आर लुकिंग फॉर द प्रॉफिट मॅक्झिमायझेशन ओनली, ओके, बरोबर आहे ना, फक्त त्यांचा कमर्शियल हेतू असायचा. बट आता तसं राहिलेलं नाही आहे. आता सस्टेनन्स इज ऑल्सो, कारण जो कोण कॉम्पिटिटर मार्केटमध्ये एंटर येतो ना तो त्या क्वालिटीचा आहे. ही हॅव दॅट डिफरंट स्किल, ही हॅव दॅट डिफरंट ॲबिलिटी, राईट. सो दॅट तो तिथे त्यांनी मुद्दा दिलेला आहे की इंडस्ट्रियल लोकेशन. ओके, त्याच्यानंतर नेक्स्ट and the fourth concept is all about the project appraisal, need, importance and methods. Means if you are entered into the project, new project is to be started, then what is the method of the appraisal of it, need of appraisal. आजकाल नवीन नवीन जे प्रोजेक्ट सुरू होतात त्या संदर्भातल्या ज्या काही कन्सेप्ट आहेत त्याचा अप्रायझल असू दे, आणि अप्रायझल असल्याशिवाय तर आपल्याला तो स्टार्टअप पण करता येऊ शकत नाही. त्याच्या प्रोजेक्ट अप्रायझलच्या मेथड्स काय काय आहेत हे सगळं इंडस्ट्रियल इकॉनॉमिक्समध्ये आपण बघणार आहोत. म्हणजेच हियर द टायटल इज गिवन मॅनेजरल इकॉनॉमिक्स, बट दे इन्क्लूड various concept of macro as well as the industries in it, because whenever you become employable you have to adopt such a concept which you studied under this syllabus practically in your firm, so that it is included. You have to face the labor problem, you have to face the labor union problem. is the different concept guys, की labor union problem आहे, मग तो कसा सॉर्ट आउट केला गेला पाहिजे, त्यामध्ये आपण कायद्याच्या कचाट्यात पण नाही अडकलं पाहिजे. these are the number of things you have to solve. So under the syllabus of managerial economics, again I am going to revise. The fourth chapter is to be learned. First is the product pricing, second one is the product pricing strategies, okay, the third one is the business cycle, as you know, you studied it in the macroeconomics of the BCom second year, and the fourth one is about the industrial economics. 15 and the 20 lectures are allocated to it. 50% lecture will be taken on the YouTube, and 50% will be taken on the live lectures, and I am expecting 100% present of all of yours, because it will consider your present will be considered for the internal marking system. So that it is request from my college that presentee is compulsory for each and every session. You have to follow the timetable. It is from 10 to 11, whatever it may be given on your group as well. You have to follow it, you have to listen the lecture and mark your name in the comment box, which will be considered as your presentee. Okay, in the comment box you have to write your full name. that will be considered as a presentee, and in a live lecture I will take the screenshot of your attended, or you can say the attended students only. So from the Friday's lecture I am going to start the chapter first. It is my request you to attend every lecture clearly. Regarding any YouTube lecture, if you have any doubt, you can ask me on the personal, that will be solved in your online sessions as well. So you can ask the doubts on the personal WhatsApp. Thank you so much.